last couple of years, and especially after last summer when you had that great disappointment, and now to come back and win, how this feels for you?
I said that it felt like it was meant to be, and it does. Turns out I like gold. So I'm just excited to be here, man. And right off the bat, I just want to say thank you to Holly for stepping up when she could have waited. Like, in my mind, that woman is still a champion, will always have a ton of my respect. And if I ever get the honor to step in there with her again, I would love to. So.
Maybe in your second title fight with Ronda, your emotions were difficult, and you seemed like you were able to control it tonight. You're going right down to the very edge of the fight. I don't know if you were behind, but you were behind at that point. You had to make something happen. There was about 2 minutes to go in the fight. How were you able to remain calm and kind of keep in the moment, because you really pushed it right up to the last minute?
Yeah, my cornermen are always honest with me, and I appreciate that. They never lie to me. They went in there and said, she won. She looks like she's won 3 of the 4 rounds, so I haven't been able to see it yet, but I take their advice strongly. And Bryan came in there and basically told me, you've got to go guns blazing. He said, you risk it to get the biscuit, essentially. So I knew that if I had to risk getting knocked out at that point, that's what was going to happen. But either way, I was anticipating on that fight getting finished in the 5th round. So.
Can you talk a little bit about, just for a layperson who's never had to do this, when Holly throws you over, how you hold on to that choke, and sort of like when you sort of felt her start moving, do you kind of cinch it a little bit more, knowing that?
Well, it was under the chin before she threw it over, but I just knew that I had to hang on, and I expect that people are going to try to get out of it with everything that they have, and I wouldn't expect anything less from Holly. She's man. She's tough as nails. Like, she really pulled the most out of me. Like, she made me a better fighter tonight, and I'm always thankful for that. So, she was giving everything she had to get out of that, and I just had to hang on for dear life, essentially. So I did.
Your mentality. You talked about the 5th round, but I want to know the 3rd and the 4th round. I mean, things were so close. You almost finished it early on. It slips out of your hand, and then she's picking up rounds. Your offense is kind of slowing down a little bit. Did in your head, did you ever feel like this is slipping away from you a little bit?
I mean, I had to be honest with myself at that point too, and I looked to my cornermen a lot for guidance there, because I don't know for sure, but I felt like, she was getting the better of me a little bit on the feet. I feel like I've improved a lot there to even be able to hang with someone of her caliber and, do what I did there. So I am happy with that, but she was definitely, I feel like, edging me out. And I thought in the 5th round, I've just got to give it everything that I have. I got to gut it out, and I've got to finish this fight. So that's what I was looking to do.
And you talked about coming into this fight, how refreshing it was to not have to deal with the whole Ronda angle and all the emotion and all that. But it seems like this fight now sets up another fight with Ronda. So I'm sure you want to enjoy the moment. But does that feel like the right move for you in the next fight? The
right move feels like drinking a Budweiser and eating cupcakes. That's what the right move feels like, and then I will talk to my, KHI in my management team, and we will discuss what's next, and we'll talk to UFC. My job as a champion is to fight the next best person, so whoever that is, I will fight him.
Thanks, Miesha.
The emotion of the moment, obviously you celebrated in that moment. I mean, can you kind of describe, what it was like, feeling that versus maybe your first title win and everything you've gone through to get here, because I know it was a lot.
It's really hard to put into words, but I did tell Bryan that it will be a red boxer brief night.
It was no secret how important this fight was to you. Not that long ago you were talking about retirement because you weren't sure if you'd ever win a belt. Had you lost this fight, you would have lost to Holly, and obviously the losses to Rousey. So you had a lot on the line. I'm just wondering, when you go into a 5th round, you have 5 minutes to try and make something happen. Your corner tells you that you're behind on the scorecards. Does that feel like a lot of time to make something happen? Does it feel like, oh my God, I have no time left, I have 1 round, or does it feel like 5 minutes is more than enough time for me to go in and do this?
It feels like enough time, obviously. I made it happen. The thing about me is my mentality is it does not matter to me how down I get at any point in a fight. I've been literally knocked down and almost out of it, and I get back up and I win fights. So it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. And I think that's, a champion does. So another thing, the Seahawks did not win a championship this year, but I'm from Washington, so I'm really happy to bring this belt back home, and maybe they'll let me raise the 12th man flag now. So you all can put that out there for me. Thank you.
you had the choice, who would get the next fight against you?
Well, I don't have a choice,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter to me. I don't feel like that's my responsibility. That's my management's responsibility and the UFC's responsibility. My job is to show up and defend this belt, so it makes no difference to me.
Miesha, do you feel like you finally earned something as far as you waited so long to get to this point?
Yeah, and I have to give a huge thanks to my team. It has been a long road, but I've had a lot of amazing people along with me, and I feel like some of my coaches are highly underrated. I think I have some of the best coaches in the world, starting with Bryan Caraway. I know a lot of people are super haters, but he's the reason why I won this fight tonight. He's been with me since the day one, my very first day of MMA training. He taught me like an armbar and a triangle the very first day. I knew nothing about mixed martial arts. So he's been by my side since I was 19 years old. And he was the head MMA coach for this fight, and everything that he said came to fruition. And my head MMA coach, Robert Follis, phenomenal coach, phenomenal mental coach. He just makes all the puzzle pieces fall into place. And last but definitely not least, my striking coach, Jimmy Gifford. Obviously, my striking's been improving a lot, to be able to even stand in there for, most of 5 rounds with Holly. I think just as a testament that, I didn't go down. I was able to hang in there. I was able to get some shots of my own in there. And I've been working very, very hard in that department, spending a lot of time with my striking coach. So just a huge thank you to my team. And it does feel good to be here. It's been a long road. And, thank you all for coming on this journey with me. I'm excited. But I also feel as long as that's been going, like the hardest part is still ahead of me. I still have a lot of ground to cover.